ever wanted to go into the future and see how it all turns out? I seriously do. I have questions like, how badly did I hurt myself when I was crazy in my 20s in college? Does it all work out with my health? And I really, really want to know how my kids turned out. How is my little 12-year-old going to be like when she's a woman? I hope I get a chance to find out. Now, you don't get to travel into the future, and that's a good thing because it's the beauty of this life. You have to live this moment like it's an adventure. But I want to give you a strategy today that I call time travel, and it's a way for you to reach into your future and make it easier for yourself. I want you to know this isn't a superpower. This is something that you do all the time anyway, because what you do right now culminates in the future. You can see, for example, the results of what you've already done. If you've been treating your body well, maybe you see that. If you have been doing the right things in your finances, you'll see that as well. And if you've been making mistakes, it shows up eventually. There are really no secrets in our life. So I want you to take this power that you have to impact your future, but I want you to put a little best life twist on it. This week, that's what we're talking about how to time travel to your best life, what to do right now so that you can show up for yourself in the future. Now, there's two different ways to think about this time travel thing. There's the bigger sort of macro way of looking at it, which is that, you can do things that leave a legacy, like you can work on your marriage, or you can make these really important financial decisions and adjust and align yourself internally, and that you will see the ripples and the waves in the lives of the people that you love and even people that you don't know. And I think that that's really important to understand that legacy way of thinking. But for this video, I want to talk to you about the micro time travel, the little things that you can do to show up for yourself as your own sort of best friend and ally for those moments when you have choices and you have to decide, am I going to do the right thing for myself? So let's just dig in for a second to the little ways that we can show up for ourselves. There are 5 ways that I think that you can be there for yourself in the future, in moments where it would be really nice to have kind of like that little coach on your shoulder saying, you can do it, go for it. So the first one is when you're tired. You know that at the end of the day you'll be tired. At the end of the week you'll be tired. There are just moments in the cycle of life when you've run hard and you've played hard and you've done what you're supposed to do and you just feel spent. And it's at that moment that you need someone to show up and be kind to you. Just be there for you. And you can do this with the time travel strategy. Think about the moments when you're going to be tired and prepare for that moment. For example, I really am tired at the end of the day. I work as hard as I can. And so what I like to do in the morning is make sure that my bedroom is completely clean so that at the end of the day, when I don't have any energy to pick up after myself, I can walk into my room and it's all just perfect. It's almost like a maid came and cleaned up for me. And I thank my past self and say, Liz, you always know what to do for me. I feel really good about this. So that's the first one. The second way that you can show up for yourself is when you don't feel like it. Right away, what comes to mind for me is workouts, morning workouts. I love it when I'm done, but when I'm half asleep, my mind plays tricks on me and starts to say, well, do you really need to work out now? Maybe you can work out later. It's pretty cold outside. And so I can use a time travel strategy and jump into my future and by laying out my clothes, just having everything ready to go, checking the weather so that the night before so that I know what's coming up, making sure that I have the right clothes so that all I have to do is put my clothes on and go right out the door. And I don't spend time searching for something, because when I don't feel like it, I'll use any excuse so that I don't have to do it. A third way that you can show up for yourself is when you might have to make a choice. So if you're thinking about eating better and you have to make a choice of eating some Oreos that are in your pantry or going to the grocery store to get some good fruits and vegetables, it may be at that difficult moment that you choose the Oreos because it's easier, unless you jump into your future and you make sure that there are options that you love. Pick out really healthy foods that you know that you'll love, so that when that moment comes and you have a choice between something good and bad, you'll choose the good thing. Pack some food in your purse, or make sure that it's in the car. And that way, when you're going to a dinner and you might eat a whole bunch of really rich food, you have a little apple that you snack on ahead of time, so that your good choice is available to you right away. The fourth one I think is really important, and that's when you're distracted or you just feel like there's a lot of extra buzzing around you, and you can show up for yourself in that moment. I know when I feel distracted. I feel distracted at the end of the day, right around dinner time, when everyone's asking me questions and reminding me of things, and I'm trying to organize myself for the rest of the day. It's at that moment that I sometimes lose it. I get frustrated, or I make bad decisions with eating, or I just forget things. And so I can prepare for myself. I can reach into the future and time travel and make sure that I have everything done. Maybe I make my dinner the night before, or a little bit ahead of time, or I just plan that I'm going to go out. I make a list of the things that I need to get done. I ask my kids and my spouse to send me messages and say, what do we have going on? Is there anything that I need to figure out? Or just checking my calendar. And if I can do that, then I'm preparing for that moment when I know that I feel most distracted, and it's okay. Finally, you can show up for yourself in this strategy of time travel by preparing for the moments that are urgent. We like to live in urgency. I get it, because when you procrastinate, then you build up all this energy both outside of you and internally, and it pushes you through whatever it is that you have to get done. That's why when you have 20 phone calls to make for your business, you wait until the end of the week, and then you buckle down and you just get it done, and you feel this sense of relief. But you don't need that build up and then the relief. And here's the thing, you may not get it done because you waited too long, or you might run out of steam, run out of strength to get it done. So why not time travel to the end of the week where there is success in your best life, and just knock off a little of it every day, knowing that at the end of the week you don't have to feel that urgency. Basically, you're reaching into your future and removing anxiety in all of these techniques. So just think about it for a second. I know that you can't go into the future and see whether or not all these strategies are going to work exactly the way you want. You can't guarantee anything. There are people that live a super healthy life, and at the end of the day, maybe they have a disease or things don't work out the way they want to. You can't guarantee that. But what you can guarantee is that you can do things right now to prepare for you later, so that you can make the best choices for your best life. For such a long time, my friend, I did things that made my life harder for a really long time. And for a short period of time, like less than a quarter of my life, I've been using this strategy. And I want you to know something. If you choose to use it, it will work almost immediately. I promise you that. And I can honestly tell you that it has made such a difference in my life. If you look into my eyes right now and you see any sense of joy and peace, it is coming from the idea that I have to take care of my future self by making good decisions now and figuring out how I can make it easier for myself later. If you like this coaching, make sure that you connect with me. Go to Facebook and look for the 180 Life Coaching Group. I totally want to connect with you. And you need to sign up and register for this course, because I really, really think that we could make a difference in the next 100 days. Just go to liznead.com/100 days and I will be waiting for you. And make sure that you subscribe, because I am creating videos like this for you every single week, with the anticipation that something that I say will click and your life will begin to change for the better, because you totally deserve it. And right now, I want you to time travel and just think of a few ways that you can make your life easier. Write them down and then do it. I'm going to do the same, and I'll see you in the future.